delay there. Huh, heck. Apparently, there was a delay. And I was a delay. When I was born, I didn't want to come out of the chute. But my mom said, come on out. Oh well. After that delay, here I am. Well, we go from talking about that to, heck, it's the time of the year that high school hoops enthusiasts really love. It's the Section 5 tournament, and it has been an interesting Section 5 tournament to say the least, especially around here. But I will talk about one of the bad things about it. Waterloo's girls team, 2 years ago, the state champions. Last year, I didn't expect them to have problems because, hey, they were rebuilding from that. But this year, Waterloo's girls team, I thought was almost back into form. I thought Mike Bree and the team were going to make a run for a sectional title. I don't know about the states, but it crashed with a thud big time against Pennies. Thing is, I'm just kind of wondering. When I came in the third quarter while I was on my job, Pennies was leading by a bucket. And I was a little surprised. But I thought, knowing Mike Bree and the Waterloo girls, they were going to turn it on. Instead, I tried to defend them as best I could. Because, hey, I like those girls. I help them out where I work. Mike Bree does a hell of a job. So does Jason Godley as an assistant coach. And Keisha Bree is a terrific coach and a terrific JV coach. Heck, the JV team for the Waterloo girls were undefeated, which bodes well for the future. But I don't know what happened. Either they just were disinterested or something. But Waterloo girls team, that was a big disappointment. And as much as I want to say some more things, that's all I'm going to say. You know what? It could have been a good run, but I don't know where your head was or what it was. But heck, we'll get better. But Waterloo girls team, everybody comes back. And look for another Bree to become a big star. The middle child of the Bree family, she is a superstar in the making. And she also likes to talk, and she also is a pretty intelligent young lady too. I expect a lot of big things from her. I expect next year, hopefully, Waterloo to be among the best, back into form. Because this was a big disappointment exiting the tournament like that. But that's all I'm going to say. Be ready for next year, Waterloo. And as for the Mynderse girls, the slipper, I guess, still fits. Hannah Brown Trice, who I was very critical of through the season, maybe finally rounding this team into form. Because, hey, they won against Hammondsport Bath and then surprised the number 1 seed, the young women's college prep team up in Greece. And then another surprise last night, beating Wellsville in the semifinals, which means Friday night at FLCC, they will be playing for the B1 title. The thing is, the team they're playing is known as the Giants of the B1 right now. Hornell is a very well-built, very championship caliber team. It could be a tall order, but will the glass slipper still fit? We are getting hot at just the right time, Minders. Let's hope that the glass slipper can still fit after Friday. And as for the boys, Waterloo is hot and cold at times. And for a while against Bath, they were cold. They were down by 13 at one time, and I thought, oh boy, did they take a lesson from the girls? But then in the final quarter, they got hot, especially Dylan Caraballo, who definitely does his best imitation of Stephon Curry. This team got hot from beyond the arc. Dylan got hot, getting a lot of baskets and ones. and Waterloo emerged victorious against Bath. But I mean, heck, this hot and cold, it can't continue, because guess what? Another glass slipper is trying to be fit, and it's the Mynderse boys, coming out with a huge win against Stansville in their opener, and then going to a place where it is always pretty difficult, and beating Leroy by 25 points. Now let's see how this Mynderse team can do with the big dog, Alan Plummer, right in the middle. It's Mynderse and Waterloo on a neutral court. But you know what? It's going to be really entertaining. Let's see what Mynderse or Waterloo can do to maybe get ready to play in the War Memorial on Saturday for the title. Who will it be? And as I said, it's always been an interesting Section 5 tournament, and so far it has. Let's see how it continues through championship week, getting ready for the playoffs for the states. We'll see. Will the glass slipper still fit for both Mynderse teams? Will Waterloo's boys be able to go to play for the title? It'll be interesting. And now I go from talking about them to talking about Syracuse, the hot and cold and very inconsistent way that the basketball team continues. Heck, they went down, they took care of Raleigh and the North Carolina State Wolfpack with a pretty good win in the Dome. But then they go to Blacksburg, and again, that hot and cold thing just seems to plague Syracuse. Their offense was pretty good, but their defense again took a dive. You know, that went into overtime, yes, but this time Syracuse didn't emerge victorious. Just the way this inconsistent and woeful season is going on. And they got their last two games before next week's ACC tournament. They've got SMU tonight down in Dallas. And on Saturday, they close against another team that seems to be suffering because of this transfer portal. Virginia and Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett actually decided to retire before the season began. And Virginia themselves is having a very inconsistent year. But I mean, let's see what happens. Virginia and Syracuse to close the season and get ready next week for the ACC tournament. Syracuse probably has to win the tournament to get into the NCAA tournament, but I don't see it. And I mean, if SU doesn't get in, it'll be the first time that any recruits have gone 4 years for Syracuse without being in the tournament. Very disappointing, showing you how far the team's fallen. And I thought that they were on their way back. Well, you know what? Adrian Autry, I don't know if he's got it. You know what? If he gets canned after this year, so be it. We'll see what happens with the Syracuse basketball team. Although I am pretty happy to see that the lacrosse team did go out to Utah and took care of business against the Utes, beating them 15-5 as we continue on through the season, and hopefully Gary Gate will have them playing better again. We'll see what happens after 2 losses. Good to get back on the winning track. And I will say about the Oscars. Very interesting ceremony. You know what? It was pretty good seeing Adrian Brody again win for Best Actor. I mean, both of his wins have been for people or characters that have survived the Holocaust. And Adrian Brody is a very good, very talented actor. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to Mikey Madison, who at 25 is one of the youngest actresses to ever win Best Actress. And congratulations to both Zoe Saldana and to Kieran Culkin. And for the Culkin family, it's almost like it's come full circle. Macaulay was the carrier of that family for a long time, with his great role there in Home Alone. But Kieran, he's eked out a pretty good career himself. And now he's the one that seems to be carrying the family. Of course, Macaulay pretty much has called it a career. I mean, I guess playing Kevin McAllister was enough for him. But Kieran is now the one who's carrying it and is winning the awards. But you know what? Congratulations to him. And congratulations to Honora for 5 Oscars. And I know a little bit of a somber one. Good thing for Morgan Freeman talking about his friend Gene Hackman, a giant that we lost. And his death is very suspicious. Seemed as though he passed maybe a week and a half before him, his wife, and their pet dog were discovered. And they say they started to undergo mummification. Out of respect for Gene, I'm not going to do what I was going to do. But you know what? I mean, if any horror film was going to be done, I mean, heck, please don't include him. Congratulations to a brilliant life and a brilliant career for Gene Hackman. And congratulations to all the winners at the Academy Awards. Last but not least, who thought that the meeting between Volodymyr Zelensky, Donald Trump, was going to drift into something out of Jerry Springer? That was an ugly thing to show on the world stage. Heck, I can see both sides. You know what, at times it seems Zelensky's trying to manipulate things, but so is Trump. You know what? Respect goes both ways. Same as it does with all the correctional workers here and Governor Hochul. The correctional workers have a lot of legit gripes, and they shouldn't be fired for airing those gripes. You know what? It goes both ways, Zelensky, Trump. Goes both ways, Hochul and the COs. You know what? Let's work it out, because it is a very ugly way to see. I'm Ken Haas. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.